Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today, we're going to talk about Bitcoin, orders of business. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and also check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. Remember to check out the premium list at intothecryptoverse.com. Let's go ahead and jump in. Now, Bitcoin has moved up today a fair amount from around $49,000 up to a very modest 51K. Now, the order of business that Bitcoin needs to carry out ideally is we would like to get back above the bull market support band, which again is at approximately $52,000. So the 21-week EMA, the 20-week SMA, both that are on 52K. You can see that right over here, the green and the red numbers, 52.3K, 52.5K. Somewhere in that area would be really nice for us to get back above. So from the current prices, we would like to see Bitcoin go up approximately $1,300, $1,400. That would be the first order of business, my friends. Okay. Now, one of the things that we mentioned in the bull market support band update from yesterday is that the total asset class as a whole held it. This is an important point we're going to make here, okay? So we actually held it here. And so we're going to watch that. We're going to see, let's see if it holds. Furthermore, we need Bitcoin to get back above it. Now, if you say, well, once we're below it for 3 to 6 months. I mean, this is what we said back over here, right? When we fell below it, I said, look, it's probably going to be 3 to 6 month low. 3 to 6 months. This time, I don't know. I don't think that it has to be 3 to 6 months like I did back then. Okay, I don't think that it has to be quite that long. And the best case scenario would be something like 2013. Case in point, right? We get a crazy washout of the market right here. I mean, this candle was a 21.55% decline in 1 week. And that wick, look at this. Let's take a measured move from the top of the candle to the bottom of the wick to give you an idea. That was a 33% drop. The following week, we came right back above the 21-week EMA. So we didn't get above the 20-week SMA, but we got above the 21-week EMA by the weekly close with a wick above the 20-week SMA earlier in the week. We came right back up. That week was up 23%, which was a pretty ridiculous week because we went down 21.5% and then went up 23.4% with the wick all the way down here, 33%. Let's compare that to today and see kind of where we are. What are we looking at? Does it make sense at all? Well, if we take a measured move from the top of the candle to the bottom of the wick, it's about a 24% drop. Okay. Now, for us to actually wipe out this entire loss, we'd actually have to go up about 15, 16%. I don't know that Bitcoin's going to do that in 1 week. Again, volatility today is not like it once was. It's certainly possible, right? It's certainly possible. But the main order of business would be to not so much focus on getting back up to 57K, but closing above the bull market support band. That would be the main order of business. And if you go back again and you look at 2013, that's how high we had to go back up, basically just to nominally close above the 21-week EMA. So perhaps it was just we fell so far down, we came back up just to get back into the band. So what I'm looking for this week, I'm conservative. I'd rather be pleasantly surprised than try to make too bold declarations on what needs to happen. What I would like to see happen is let's see if we can just simply get back to the bull market support band. And also, furthermore, show the importance potentially of the total asset class as a whole and its bull market support band and how that might actually help us in the future potentially better identify fake outs by Bitcoin to the downside and maybe other scenarios where, look, the asset class as a whole is holding on. Perhaps altcoins are not losing confidence just yet because, again, the total asset class is still above its own bull market support band. So something we want to keep in mind for the future, and we're going to continue watching this week. For those of you who are not sure, the 20-week SMA and the 21-week EMA for the bull market support band are respectively 2.283 trillion and 2.261 trillion. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. We're above it. Let's stay above it. First order of business for Bitcoin, let's get back above 52K. And really, if we're going to pinch pennies, which maybe we want to do to make sure we're actually above it, we'd like to get above 52.4. Okay, so 52 would be nice. but technically it's still below the bull market support band. So let's get above 52.4. Above 52.4 would be ideal. Now, the other thing we need to talk about, and we've talked about this before as well, is that 50 week has been a hero so far. Okay, I mean it saved us from here, right? It almost saved us from here. I mean, you could argue that if you weren't even if you had no knowledge of the 20-week SMA or the 21-week EMA, you might just look at this and say, well, I mean, it saved us here and it saved us here, and potentially it's saving us again. Okay, so I would keep that in mind. And the 50-week is at 47.4, 47.5K, depending on the exchange that you use. So what this means is that we really don't want to go below that. If we go below that, then we're going to be testing some other types of market structures and what comes with getting below the 50-week. And, historically getting below the 50-week has not been good. Obviously, every cycle is different, so we're not going to completely write it off if it happens. But best case scenario and the easiest scenario for us to navigate would just be if we can stay above the 50-week SMA, which today is over 47K. 47.4K to 47.5K, again, depending on the exchange that you use. So, first order of business for the week, let's get back above the bull market support band if we can. Let's at least stay above the 50-week. If this is a temporary fake out and we have to come back down, I would like to see us stay above that. You can see that we had a wick this week already that took us to the 50-week. So let's see if we can make sure we stay above that. Second order of business, once we get above the bull market support band, we would then like to hold it, right? We don't want to come back down below it. A lot of times, once you get above it, you might go a little bit past it, but then you'll try to hold it for a while. And again, if you go back to 2013, you can kind of see something similar happen then as well. We fell below, we got back into it. We had about a month where we were sort of riding that bull market support band between the 20-week SMA and the 21-week EMA. From when we got back above it, when we got back in it, it still took about 17 weeks before we put it a new all-time high. Now that doesn't mean it has to take 17 weeks. This time there was a huge difference here in just navigating through it because of how wide the spread was between the 20-week SMA and the 21-week EMA at the time. Looking at this move here, it maybe took 11 weeks or something. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know how long exactly it would take for us to put in a new all-time high. It certainly might not take quite as long, especially if we get one of these impulsive bounces like we've seen happen at 29K, at 39K, and now potentially at 49K. All right. I mean, obviously we went lower, right? But on the daily time frame, if we go to the daily and we look at the lowest daily close, back over here, it was 29.7. Back over here, it was 40.7 right here. And then over here, it was around 49.2. So, and there were certainly some, wicks below 40. So, to make it look kind of nice and to just sort of round it, because we can do that here. It is my channel after all, I make the rules. 29K support, right? 39K support. Man, this is some poetry, right? 49K support. And no, my friends, we don't get out of bed for a wick. Okay, so 29K, 39K, 49K. Looks good to me. So let's see what happens here. Obviously, we'd like to get back above that bull market support band. I know some people already have their party hats on. They already got Forbes on the line. But let's actually close the week above the bull market support band and then focus on holding it and building out that case for another leg higher in the cycle. Okay, we've talked about this for years, the idea of lengthening cycles and then not having to end in 2021. We are at we're basically at the end of 2021 now. We only have a few more weeks. Clearly, we have some work to do just to get back to a new all-time high. I mean, even if we came straight up, you're talking about it's going to be the end of December, even like probably best case scenario, and that would just be going straight up without any consolidation in between. You could argue another scenario would be kind of coming up, maybe testing the 20-week a little bit, coming up, and then doing something like that. Okay. Would be a little bit more realistic. So those are the orders of business. Let's see if Bitcoin can come through in the clutch. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and click the bell icon to turn on notifications. Also, do check out the premium list at intothecryptoverse.com. You'll get access to weekly reports and videos, the Telegram alerts channel, the Telegram chat room, the risk dashboard, and a whole lot more. We got a whole lot coming, so go check it out, and hopefully it'll help you navigate the cryptocurrency market cycle. Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think Bitcoin's going to do, and I'll see you next time. Bye.